Lawwin Media Network.
Bringing to you the most relevant content across all platforms.
Business, legal, politics, health, lifestyle, and entertainment.
Your source for all the news and updates in the greater Houston community from Texas and all over the world.
Get informed and empowered with Lawwin Media Network.
Good evening everyone, and welcome to another episode of Beyond Health and Wellness. And I couldn't believe we're on episode 8. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, stream.lawin.live, twitch.tv, and you can also listen to our podcasts on Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and a lot more. Tonight we have a very, very good topic that we will be able to share with you. And we're going to learn about how our minds or our thoughts actually affect our physical well-being. And with us tonight to share her her journey in this topic, we have a very special guest, Jennifer Lahue. She is one of the leaders in the Harris Health System, and recently she was awarded by the Texas Nurses Association with her work in the healthcare industry. So let's welcome our very special guest for tonight, Jennifer. Come on the show. There she
Hi.
is.
Hello, good evening everyone. Filipino. Magandang gabi po, magandang umaga, magandang tanghali po.
You just practiced that a while ago and now you're saying it like an expert. Dr. Rich, how are you?
Well, good morning, everyone, and good evening, Texas. Good morning, Philippines. Welcome once again to our show. I'm good, MJ. Thank you very much, and welcome, Jen, our guest for tonight.
I know I kind of missed the last episode. Oh, did I miss it? Yeah, I was somewhere. And thank you for taking on without me, because you've been very good at just very flexible when I couldn't make it. You keep the show going. So thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Rich.
It is such a pleasure. It is such a pleasure to be here, MJ, and to work with you and to share our thoughts and anything that we could learn together in this platform. So we appreciate our viewers today. In Manila, there's a lot from Luzon, Visayas, and we have from Mindanao as well. And then we have Texas, a huge part of our Filipino community are watching us and listening in our podcast, and even the replays, they also are there. I think our virtual assistant could confirm how many we had last time. I think it's about 13,000, something like that, Krisha.
Yeah, I think we're averaging about 2,000 views, 2.53K sometimes. And yeah, the views
Oh, you lowered it down.
Yeah, I think so. But we're good because we just started. It's just our 8th episode. You know, with Facebook, the algorithm really doesn't. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And we are transitioning into what we've been talking about, something that are in our diet and all those kinds of nutrition, and how it impacts our health into self-management, in the management of the self. Because really, if you're a leader, you would want to make sure that you are leading by your own self, because people look to you. And so now we're going to talk about leadership, and we're going to ask one basic question: what is leadership to you? And of course, we have our guest to share with us her thoughts about this. Jen?
Yeah. And first off, though, Jennifer, we
Yes.
want to learn a little bit about you. Tell us about your role in the nursing system with Harris Health before we get to, specific questions, and before we get to our thought-provoking topic for tonight. Let's learn a little bit about your background.
Thanks. Thought-provoking topics at 8 p.m. That's really great. So I am the Director of Strategic Initiatives, Clinical Informatics, and the Office Based Addiction Treatment Program for Harris Health. In Houston, Texas, we are the third largest safety net in the whole country, and we are the largest in Texas. So we serve a lot of patients who are uninsured, insured, and underinsured, and we take care of our communities as well. I do a lot of work with substance use patients as well. Work with police department, fire department, Harris County Star Drug Courts, the
Mm-hmm.
jail, with medical schools, Baylor and UT, and everybody who wants to partner with us on this endeavor to help patients get to the better part of themselves, become better
Wow.
productive members of society.
Wow, that's a huge role, right, Dr. Rich? So anyway,
That's
that's good to
that's
know. Yeah. And I know now with our topic, it's very, in alignment with our topic because you're in the leadership role. But first off, I think let me ask Dr. Rich to set the tone. Just give him a little bit of a background what we're gonna talk about tonight, Dr. Rich. I think about James Allen, right? James
well,
Allen's.
MJ is like
Mhm.
it's like this. We are what we think about, and some of our predecessors will say we are what we continually project ourselves to be from the thought patterns that we have. And so from the outside, that is a reflection of what's going on in the inside. And remember, we were talking about food and how it
Mhm.
is manifested in us in forms of health, exceptional health, excellent health, or lack thereof. In each case, we also discussed about the possibilities of cancer diseases or disease conditions that have no cure at the moment or are transitioning into different kinds of autoimmune diseases. So, but it boils down into what did we do to our body, right? Did we lead our body into such condition? And if we did, how can we make it better for us? And one of the books that are inspiring is James Allen's. It's a tiny little book. It's telling us something about as a man thinketh, what we think is what we become. So that would be the launching point of our discussion today about what our thoughts are as far as leadership, self leadership, and leadership of others is concerned.
Yeah, it's kind of like we are what we eat, right? So we are what we eat, then we are what we think. As you said, whatever we think, whatever the mind thinks, it has the power to affect how we feel. So, what's your take on that, Jennifer?
Well, I mean, that is actually nothing new. If you read the Bible in Proverbs, King Solomon actually wrote, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." And, you know, there is a word, and it's called metacognition.
Mm-hmm.
Meta, cognition. And it's really think about what you're thinking about. Because what you think about, these internal conversations that happen in your head, they become reality when you speak it out, right? So when you are thinking negative thoughts and you don't interrupt and you don't replace it with positive thoughts, it will come out verbally. And then you can actually make your day negative by speaking negative things. Conversely, if you start saying positive things, then it lifts the mood and it elevates your day. It elevates everyone around you. And people want to be with positive people. Nobody really wants to be with Debbie Downers. Um, so I think it's important subject because sometimes we don't think about what we're thinking about.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, that's very true. And I know with Dr. Rich, he speaks all over the world, not just all over the country, but all over the world. So, whenever you speak, Dr. Rich, I mean, how do you prepare to your mind to make sure that you deliver the way you want to deliver. So you create that mindset, right? So how do you do that when you go, especially when you speak to big or large audiences?
For me, I think that over the years of training MJ, and I've been trained since I was very young, I think what it is the ability to understand from my mind, from my point of view, that whether there is one person or 100,000 people, you are talking to them. And so
Mhm.
you have to talk to them, you lose yourself, and they are the most important part of that conversation. And you talk to people. If you start talking, but you are thinking about yourself, then you create that block and barrier, and then you show yourself. It's not something that people would want to see, because people really want to be important. People want to be recognized. People want to feel valued, and you give that to them because that's what they want. And I think from both of you, from your point of view of a Maxwell trained, leadership trained individuals, you have seen that when you interact with people, they are the most important, and you are secondary to that. Would you confirm to this?
No, what was the question, Dr. Rich? If what?
I was I was thinking if you had the same thought with making people more important than you when you are talking. It's not the speaker; it's the people that are in the audience.
Yes, because it's about adding value. It's about, that's what Jan Maxwell actually teaches, is about adding value to the people that you come across with, the people that you encounter every day, to the people that you talk to your family, to everyone around you. It's when you try to add value to people, that's what makes your influence as a leader even better, right, Jan? That's what it's about, influencing other people by adding value to them, and they
Right.
find
Yeah.
worthy, they find themselves worthy, and that affects our overall well-being when we feel that, right?
Right. That's right. I mean, that's what he's always taught us in leadership, that you connect with people. And Dr. Rich, to your point, whether it's one person or if it's 100,000 uh, persons watching you or being with you, you connect to your audience and you speak to them at their level. And whatever it is that you want to convey, then there has to be that exchange of information so that they can receive whatever you want to impart to them. That is influence, that is leadership.
Yeah, so because there
Right.
are different ideas about leadership. You know what, we're getting so into the topic already, but we have to go on a break. Could you believe how time flies so fast when we're enjoying our conversation? But save the thoughts, because we will be right back after a short break.
Welcome to Season 2 of the Pink Table Talk by Dr. Carly D. Tune in and let's think pink on Wednesday. Come join as we are creating community through conversation. This is our voice. We're diving deep into powerful conversations that inspire, uplift, and empower. Season 2 of Pink Table Talk with Dr. Carly D. Every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time. See you there.
Right, we're back. I think there was a little bit of a technical glitch there. But anyway, that's what technology is about. But the show must go on. So let's, before we move on to the conversation, which is getting really exciting tonight, let's read some of the comments from our viewers. From Shannon Simichek. Simichek, yeah, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Hello, thank you for sharing the knowledge. Wow, thank you, Shannon, for watching. And then Dr. Rich, you want to read the rest of the comments?
Hang on, let me look. Yeah, that's this one says that's what makes a great leader, making sure to connect to everyone. That's good. Yes, that's
Mhm.
true. And then that's from May DeVera. And May DeVera also says, I'm so excited to learn from this episode. Thank you, May, for being with us. Since day one, May is here with us
That's
and sharing
right.
some of her thoughts.
Yeah. So now let's go back to the topic that we're really about to talk, how our minds and our thoughts really affect our physical well-being. Like when people worry, when people just are scared, when people have those negative thoughts. I know there's a writer who has an acronym for that. He calls them ants. I can't remember what the A stands for, but NT is negative thoughts. But anyway, yeah. So, how do negative thoughts actually affect our physical, mental, emotional, and overall well being? Dr. Rich first, and then Jen maybe can share her experience with this topic as well.
Well, MJ, we have this what we call as a mental diet, right? So we have our food diet and we also have our mental diet, what we feed to our mind and what we entertain that comes in through our consciousness or our conscious mind gets into the subconscious mind and manifest, right? Creation is not from the outside in, it is from the inside out. So whatever it is that comes into, if we don't guard our subconscious mind, we just allow it, anything goes in. If it's garbage, it goes in, it goes out. So
Mhm.
anything, we have to guard our mind. That's what the role of the conscious mind there. It is to guard, to block, to filter it so that it doesn't go. And if it doesn't go, whether it's good or bad, if it doesn't allow it, then whatever it allows is the one that's being manifested, with whether right or wrong, good or bad, or productive or unproductive, or beneficial or destructive to life. And that's what it is.
Yeah. What about you, Jen? I mean, because I know in healthcare, especially, people get burnt out. It's because not only we are being affected by what we're thinking, but of course the environment. So how do you deal with that if you're having all these negative thoughts? How does it affect your day, and how do you go about your day to make sure that you're gonna perform the best, right? Because we go to work every day. We want to give our best in our job and in the people around us, right?
So let me first address, what Dr. Rich is saying, and I'm going to piggyback on what he said. Um, I have a favorite author. Her name is Joyce Meyer, and she always talks about where the mind goes, the man follows.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the examples that I can give you is during 9/11 years ago, when World Tower got blown up and all of these things. I was taking care of populations of diabetic patients. They kept watching the news over and over and over again, and we noticed the spikes in the blood sugar, spikes in blood pressures,
Uh-huh.
and they weren't doing anything different. So that all that negativity manifests in the body. It can manifest in terms of increased blood sugars, increased blood pressures, depression, anxiety, and all of these negative emotions. And one of the things that we as human beings need to practice is to be self aware. When you're
Mm-hmm.
aware of how your body works, what triggers your body to have negative emotions, then you can guard against it. And to your last question, what I do, because we're in healthcare, it's a stressful profession, to be honest with you. And
Mm-hmm.
leadership is not a walk in the park either. I pray every morning. I meditate. I ask God for wisdom to go through my day. And this is part of the visualization. You visualize that you're going to have what it takes to be successful and to be positive and to be a winner at the end of the day. Before all the challenges and all trials and tribulations come, then you visualize those things. And so you walk through your day with that positive mindset. And then at the end of the day, you evaluate
Mm-hmm.
you evaluate what happened and what you could have done better and what you did good, and then you keep your perspective. And I hope that helps someone.
Oh, yes, definitely. You said it very well. You said it very well. So having a positive mindset, no matter how your day starts, because I remember too when I was working in Lubbock as a charge nurse, you know how it is when you have your assignment in front of you and not there are staff that are not happy, right? They start their day with complaining. It's their day will stay bad if they start the day like that, right? But if you go and set your mind that however your patients look like, you're there to take care of them. So just set the tone. You are in control. You can control your mind. You can control how you react, how you respond to any situation. That's the power of mind. And yes, what about Dr. Rich? Any other techniques that you use or apply when you are in situations like that, like kind of what Jennifer had shared?
Yeah, very well, especially in critical care. In critical care, you've seen me before, MJ,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lot of stressful situations that we have to address and the staff needs to address. But that particular unit, although it's not unique because it's still a nursing unit, so it is still a high strung what do you call a high stress environment. The cortisol level is
Mm-hmm.
overdosed. It's too much. And then you come to work and you engage in different kinds of argument or negative spirit. It's going to come out because there's a lot of cortisol in there. Now, from my experience background in the operative area, that is the same thing. The cortisol level is so high wherever you go in the nursing units or wherever departments you are that engages in patient care. And so what we do is instead of overdosing it some more is to reduce that by taking different kinds of approaches such as relaxation, such
Mm-hmm.
as smiling, right? And we're talking about dopamine, we're talking about serotonin, we're talking about oxytocin. All of that need to be induced so that we balance it off the cortisol level or the adrenaline that is there in the workplace, balance it off with the good amount. The we're talking about these medical terms and solutions and drugs, but really what it is it's very addictive. That's why you have to be aware about where it is, because then, for example, dopamine, you'll be looking for that
Feel
dopamine,
good.
right? You still need to do your job, right? You still need to do your job. And so, but you'll be looking for that, and if it's not available there, or you don't have the time to induce it, or you forgot, you are in a high stress environment. That doesn't mean you're not going to do your job. You're still going to do your job. So really what it is then your body starts looking for it. And you can't do your job if you don't have the coffee, you don't have the donut, or somebody that you work with that clicks well with you. And it just is not the best way to do that. The best way perhaps to me is to, as what Jen says, self-aware, be aware of what's going on, and
Mm-hmm.
then combat it with positive thoughts and relaxation, and the ability to think positive and move forward with it.
Yes, yes, that's is very profoundly said too. Because no matter what your day is, if you as again, our minds can change the situation, right? Because we can control. And we have talked about all those good hormones, Dr. Rich, right? That
Yeah.
people, yes, that people can actually just like try to come out of you or help get out of you by making the best out of the situation. And that's why even like patients, remember, if they go for surgery, because the body undergoes stress so much, that's why there are these physiological effects, like Jen had mentioned about high blood pressure whenever you're in stress, and then your blood sugar can go up too. That is why after surgery they make sure that the blood sugar of the patient will be well controlled, because this also affects healing. So it's like an effect. It can go on and on and on. The negative effect of stress in our body, it can start from one and can just go on and have multiple effects in different areas of our physiological, yeah, existence, right? So other than positive mindset and all that, I know we've talked about or we've learned about being grateful, the power of gratitude too. Because if we are grateful with whatever situation we have, we can change, like we can make a day better, not just for us. Because if we don't get influenced by the reaction of our environment in that situation, if we can make that, still a very grateful situation, then we can positively impact the people around us. So I think an act of gratitude too, right? The attitude of gratitude, I hear that a lot. So that's one way of dealing with our negative thoughts and any other negative influences in the environment.
I don't know what Jen would do, but for me, for my experience, I would tell my staff a lot to go ahead. If you don't believe me telling you that you are good, go ahead, find a mirror and tell yourself you are good. You have to bombard it. Sometimes I'm not good enough and all that kind of, you tell yourself. You just tell yourself. If you feel like you want to cry, go ahead, find a mirror, cry, see if you can cry. You cannot cry in front of a mirror. You get well and better, and the effect is almost instant to battle it, to balance it down.
Yeah, because do you believe, Jen, that your greatest competition is yourself? They say you look in the mirror and that's your. But if you overcome yourself, if you overcome those negative thoughts in yourself, then you actually become like really victorious in every situation, right?
Well, I mean, we go back to the topic of leadership. The hardest person to lead is who? It's
Yourself.
yourself, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I'm not sure if everybody watching is in the healthcare profession, and maybe we're talking to people who are, in different industries. But really and truly, if you want to live a happy, well balanced, prosperous, positive life, you've got to make decisions. Um, if the environment is negative, then you walk away. If people are toxic, then you choose to hang out with people that are positive. Um, if you're the one that people are walking away from, maybe it's time to reassess, right? Maybe it's you.
Mhm.
But always to have the mindset that perhaps you think that you are promised tomorrow, but nobody's ever promised tomorrow. This might be, the day that you're called. So why not make the best of today? Why not do whatever good you can do today? Because you might not be here tomorrow. And there are people who could really benefit from a word of encouragement, from a smile, from a helping hand. And, with our nurses, with our healthcare teams, we have a program called Self Care for Healthcare, and we talk a lot about diet and exercise, sleep. Getting enough sleep is very important. You've got to have at least 8 hours of sleep because that's how you recharge your body. Betty White said 9 if you're ugly. So we talk about those things, and we talk about the power of forgiveness, because
Mhm.
unforgiveness eats you up,
Mhm.
and forgiving others is really not for them, it's for you
It's
so
for
you
it's
can be
for you.
free.
Mhm. Wow. Wow. We're getting a lot of wisdom from our guest tonight, Dr. Rich. Huh? So, but then, we have to go on another break so we can we can continue with our wonderful conversation tonight. So, see you in a little bit.
In a world filled with fleeting moments, there's beauty waiting to be captured. My name is Christian, and I specialize in immortalizing your most precious memories. From elegant weddings to vibrant events and timeless portraits, I'm here to make every moment unforgettable. Let me tell your story through the lens. Contact me today and let's create magic together.
Are you ready for engaging conversations on education, teaching strategies, trends in the classroom?
Tune in to Teacher Talk, Live Chikahan, with your hosts, Teacher Cora and Dr. Claire.
In each episode, we'll dive into meaningful discussions, share insights, and connect with fellow educators.
Don't miss out on the fun and camaraderie. Grab your coffee and join us for some lively Chikahan. Every Saturday, 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Philippine.
All right, we're back. We're back. Wow. it it's already 8:33. Wow, you see it goes by so fast. But I would like to add, because I've been listening to this podcast also, and actually he's very good. His name is Brendan Burchard. He does the growth day, and what two things that he tells people, or he teaches those subscribers to do about their negative thoughts and environment is like release. You do a release meditation. Like all throughout your day, you can do the release meditation. Like you just recite release, 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 and go like and reset your body. And then you recalibrate your body. Once you do that, then it will just take away all your negative thoughts and feelings. And you know what I do at night? I have this thing that I recite before I go to bed. I release the day with gratitude. Like I let go of any negative thoughts or feelings. And then I claim a restful night. And I look forward to a day full of energy and vibration. So it's that power of mind. You'd say that over and over to yourself, and then you will just realize how you relax your body, and then your mindset is reset. So wow. I mean, it's really powerful. The mind is really, really powerful. Don't you think so, Dr. Rich?
MJ, yes, here is the thing. We can talk on and on about some things that are good to do and that really work, but until the mind really had absorbs it, it doesn't manifest. And what that with that being said, I'm saying that such like gratitude, visualization, affirmation, journaling, all those things, only 5% of the entire population of the world really does that. So can you just imagine with the small amount of people doing the things that are supposed to be good, the remaining are struggling, right? Because they're not doing it. So really what it boils down is really do it and command yourself, because commitment or discipline is the ability to give yourself command and go ahead and do it. And a lot of us won't do it. We can talk about books, we can talk about TV shows, podcasts here and there, people talking about what works for them. And then it didn't work for us because we didn't really do it. When we talk about journaling, really do it. and you do it 1 day, 2 days, it doesn't work that way because it's
Yeah.
difficult to change
Uh-huh.
that paradigm.
Yeah, you have to be consistent, right? It's not a one day thing. I mean, it has to be a habit, you know? Like what you said, you can journal one or two. That's one thing I struggle with. I'm not a person who writes things, but I keep growing. That's how I try and I do my best to keep growing every day. So, Jennifer, I know you're also into personal growth and development. Can you share how you encourage your team or anybody in your, in your field of work or in your circle? How do you encourage people to continually grow professionally and personally?
Well, I do a lot of speaking engagements, you know, nationally, and we also do globally. And I also speak in the courts. At work, I speak to doctors and nurses, and it really is important to listen to what's being said and listen to what's not being said, because sometimes that's more profound. And
Mm-hmm.
when I get to know the heart of the person, maybe in a few interactions, I get to hear what it is that they really want, then I can approach it from their perspective. I meet them where they're at, not where I want them to be at that
Mm-hmm.
point in time, and then talk to them about what makes you happy. If you had all the money in the world, what would you do? And growth to them would be probably different from what growth for me means, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But to encourage them to take a few steps, um, to be better than they were yesterday, to pursue their best self. And maybe that's not what you are today, but just to keep trying, keep working at it, and keep chipping at the negative behaviors, the negative emotions, the negative thoughts. um, because to me that's progress, that's growth. A tree doesn't grow overnight, right?
Mm-hmm.
It starts from a sapling and then it keeps growing as you water it with uh, every day the sun comes out and you water it. So that's the same principle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how we approach our professional environment, is we challenge them. Yeah, we ask them to make sure that they are at the top of their scope. Nursing is a profession. Nursing has responsibilities just like physicians do, and there is a career ladder and there are certifications that you can have. So challenge yourself, not just for yourself, but for your patients, so you can have a better practice, so you can have better patient outcomes as well.
Wow. Very well said. We are gaining a lot of wisdom because I believe too. I'm big on personal growth and development as well. Like I know that I have so much to learn and I need to continually grow because if we're not growing, there's no progress, right? And you're right. Every little progress is progress. We're getting closer to the person that we are created to be because everybody has a purpose in this life, and the only way that we can actually be the best that we can be is to continually grow, right? Because God has created us for a purpose, for a reason. And if we don't take care of ourselves, if we don't take care of our minds and ourselves, our physical bodies, then we can't be the best version that we have to be. And we cannot be the person that can take care of others if we don't take care of ourselves, right, Dr. Rich? So I know Dr. Rich also has a lot of wisdom in personal growth and development. He's a great leader. Now currently he's like the vice president of a hospital in Wisconsin. So what about you, Dr. Rich? How do you encourage your employees or your subordinates or your family or people around you? Because it's not just for people that you are like the leader of, but also your family and friends.
MJ, first of all, thank you for boosting that dopamine in me. I like you now. Yeah, so So really what we're doing here is like you look for results. At the end of the day, it's going to be the results, right? What is the result of the life that you lead? And if you have that kind of result, what would have been the result you wanted? And if that's not the result you wanted, what would you do to get to that result that you envisioned to have? So it's all about results, just like at work, right? We can say, oh, my nurses are good, my patients are good, and we're doing well, everything is good. When we talk to people, how is everything going? Everything's going good, everything good. They keep saying that. And then you look at the result, it's not good. So that means something is going on there that's not led to the results you want. My advice is that when you look for people, or you want to be led by people, or you want to lead people, make sure that you see or know what results you are getting. And if you're getting that person that has the results, follow it. Do what they do. If you want to be a millionaire, you want to have an advice from somebody who has already been there, right?
Mhm.
Because there are so many people that will tell you how to make money, how to get rich, how to do that. They don't have $1 million. And so, why would you follow somebody who doesn't have the result, right? You want to look for people who has the result so that you can follow their steps, so that you can also get there. It's very simple. You can only get there by just doing what you do. And it's all about the result. And if the result that you're having in your life is not what you want, then what you need to do is go back in there and rearrange that, so that what you're doing, or what the life that you're leading, will get you to the results you want.
Wow.
Does that make sense, MJ?
Oh
Yeah.
yes, absolutely it does. It's like what Jen said. You have to if you are surrounded by toxic people and they're affecting you, or they're giving you negative energy, you have to get out of there. It's like if you want to become a millionaire, take talk you don't talk to people who are broke, right? That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, you talk to people who have actually been there, done that, right? We get wisdom from people who have experienced those before. It's the same thing. The same thing, like people who have been to struggles that you are going through. The best people that can give you advice and that can uplift you and that can actually make you feel better are people who've been there and like overcame those struggles that you are going through, right? That's how it is. And it's like life is all about really staying the best, or trying to be the best that we can be, so we can live a healthier and a more fulfilled and purposeful. Oh my god, I can't even say it. Live with
Purposeful.
purpose. Yeah, purposeful. Thank you. See, I'm like, yeah, my tongue is not working right tonight. But anyway, you get what I mean, right? You're right. You're so both of you are just so full of wisdom. And I think our viewers really have learned a lot from all our experiences tonight. But again, it's 8:45, so we gotta go for the last break that we have, and we'll be back for the final segment of our show. So see you in a bit.
Welcome to Season 2 of The Pink Table Talk by Dr. Carly D. Tune in and let's think pink on Wednesday. Come join as we are creating community through conversation. This is our voice. We're diving deep into powerful conversations that inspire, uplift, and empower. Season 2 of Pink Table Talk with Dr. Carly D. Every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time. See you there.
All right, we're back. I think we have to read some more comments, and before we continue with the conversation, let's see from C Jubel, watching from Pangasinan. Wow, thank you C for watching us tonight. Wow, ganda ng topic. O, di ba? Maraming salamat. Yeah, because we have really great speakers and experts and they are full of wisdom. Yeah, and then we have more comments. We have some emojis here. Oh, May De Vera says that's a very good advice. Forgiving, especially yourself, because by not forgiving or not allowing yourself, I can't see where. Dr. Rich, can you continue? Because something is blocking my view.
Not allowing yourself to be free from any guilt that will eventually eat you up until it will close both your mind and heart. That's
Cloud.
awesome.
Both your
Wow.
That's awesome.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I think May is learning from us as well, and so is our a lot of our learners, our viewers as well. Please, for our viewers, let's acknowledge them, MJ and Jen. We appreciate you for being here with us, and we really appreciate you sending us your messages, comments, feedback, even in the replays of our podcast. Continue to do so, and if you have any questions at all, we'd love to talk about it.
Yes, yes. We encourage you to just, and share your experiences, your thoughts, your views, your ideas, whatever you think about the topic that we talk about every week here. Feel free to share your own experiences with us because I know that people will learn. I mean, it's our stories or our experiences in life. Some people can learn from them. So feel free. So, Jen, I know it's been a night and we are so glad that you joined us tonight. You are very well spoken. You have like a lot of wisdom about life, not just nursing, but life in general. And I know because I see Jen at we go to the same church. So she's not only a good leader in the healthcare workforce, but also she is a servant of God. I mean, she's into everything. I mean, I'm just so blessed every time I see her because she's very uplifting and encouraging. And in life, we gain wisdom as we grow older, and we want to share this wisdom to people that we come across with because you never know who's needing those words or those encouragements or the stories that you share. You never know because God put people in your life that he wants you to bless, right? So, Jen, what are the most important lessons in life that you have learned that can really make a big impact and difference in people's lives?
Well, first of all, I would like to tell May, maraming salamat. Well, I practice my Tagalog. I'm so happy. uh, and thank you. I do pray for wisdom every day. I ask the Lord to give me wisdom. The work that I do is not easy. Um, in terms of forgiveness, there's such a thing as you have to forgive others, but you also have to forgive yourself.
Mhm.
And sometimes people that you have wronged are no longer there. And in order to have closure, you have to find avenues so that you can free yourself from the guilt or the pain. So you could write a letter, you could do an open chair conversation. Those are the types of things. And I teach that to our court clients as well, because life is hard. And, to have all that baggage and carry it with you every single day, that's just a miserable life. And if you can't even like yourself, That's more miserable because everywhere you go, there you are. So, you know, stay humble, stay positive, um, listen with the intent to really, really hear what other people are saying instead of just talking a lot. Um, Pay attention to your body, pay attention to your mind. I do a lot of deep breathing. If this situation is stressful, if people are stressful, it's just interrupt their flow. You take a deep breath in, out, count to five, and then exhale. That resets the tone.
Mhm.
Take care of yourself, because if you can't do self care, you're not gonna be good to anybody else. You're not
Mhm.
gonna be good to any value to your kids, to your family, to the community around you. And I always say, look, if you're in the airplane, that oxygen mask falls, right? It drops, and who is the person that should put it on first? It's you, right?
Mhm.
And the next is your favorite child. No, I'm just kidding.
That's hard for me. You only have one child, so it's not a problem for you. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but do the things that work for you. For
Mhm.
me, I love the beach. So I know we don't have a good beach here in Houston, but I go to Galveston and I watch the waves. I read a book. I go to the spa. I go watch good movies. Do the things that make you happy, because there's not one template for everybody else.
Oh, yes, yes. Yeah, it's kind of like what Dr. Rich has been teaching us from the beginning. You have to trigger your dopamine, because that's the feel good hormone. So if Korean drama is what makes you feel good, I mean, it's not bad to do it once in a while, because that it will set the tone and it will change your mood. Because imagine if your mood is not good every day and you're impacting the people around you in a negative way, you're becoming toxic. That means you gotta be aware that something is already controlling you in the opposite direction. So I think self-awareness is very important, because if we don't know what the problem is, if we don't know that there's something wrong with our mind and in our with our hearts or with our thoughts, we're not going to acknowledge it. And until we acknowledge that there's something wrong, then we cannot address the issue, right? So I believe in that, to self-awareness, self-care, right? Dr. Rich, what about you? You're the guru
That
also
is
of self-care. So
guru,
share us
self-proclaimed
some of
guru.
your
That
thoughts.
is true. I agree with that, MJ. Now, here's the thing. We want to make sure that we know that we talk about the feel-good movies, teleseries, Korean novella, things like that, or even food. Now we go back to food, right? They are addictive. And when they
Mhm.
are addictive, they're more addictive than narcotics, because we crave for them every single day because we'll be looking for them. So what we want to do is make sure that that's in moderation, that you
Mhm.
are really aware, you are in control of yourself. Whatever it is that you need, you get it, and then move on. And if you get it in excess, then well, you know that there's a risk in that as well. And then we go back to what we talked when we started this podcast episode today about James Allen's book, and he mentioned about we are what we think about. We also mentioned that we are what we eat,
Mhm.
because you say dopamine feel good, and then we get that dopamine from the food that we eat. Especially now we go back to what, sugar, right?
Sure.
Sugar is everywhere in every single food that we eat. And so I was just saying, look at those labels and see if there are added sugar. So don't take them if there are added sugar. So there's still sugar, but there's no added sugar. So that you reduce that for a little bit, because we induce ourselves with a lot of sugar, dopamine, in excessive contents. Our regular consumption is supposed to be 50 grams, was it we talk? You cut that in half, that is 25 for daily. But we really have we take a bottle of soda that is already about 107 grams. So it's
Grams.
just one particular food. It's already reached very, very high. So it's difficult to control, right? It's very addictive, very difficult to control. But we are what we eat, and therefore it manifests with what we eat, manifests in a healthy condition. Are we healthy? And then we talk about now you have cancer, right? What did I do? God, what did I do? And I have cancer. Well, you ate sugar all your life. You ate all these kinds of things all your life without that awareness. You let so now let it go, right? And all those kinds of things are wrong effect of really a self-control, management of the self, and ability to really lead yourself in the direction you want to go.
Yes, yes. And that's when we take care, again, when we take care of our minds and our bodies and try to stay away and stop those negative thoughts. And as Jen had said earlier, when you recognize that something negative is already affecting you or influencing you, by recognizing it, you can stop it, right? So, again, the power of the mind that James Allen talked about in this book, A Man Thinketh, right? So,
Very,
yes. So,
yes, very,
I hope
very
that,
powerful. We have to guard our thoughts.
yes, guard our thoughts and our minds, because whatever we think, that's what we will eventually manifest. So, what are your final words for our viewers, Jen, tonight?
My final words, um, take care of yourself, take care of your family, um, be kind to yourself because
Mhm.
you're the only one who goes around with you. Love yourself, not in a selfish, kind or destructive love, but the love that God gives you to love yourself and to be kind to yourself and to be kind to others. Now, there are going to be people in your life that may not be as calm or peaceful as you want them to be. And I always encourage others to assess the situation and say, if you can't pull those people into your peace, don't let them pull you into their crisis. Then you walk away.
Wow. Wow, that's very profound. That's wow. I'm really just in awe how you have shared so much wisdom to us all tonight, including myself. I've known you. We met each other just at that John Maxwell conference, right? That's where we came to know each other, and now we go to the same church. We live in the same city here in Pearland. And I've been blessed by your presence every time we see each other. And I'm so glad that we had the chance or opportunity to share you with our viewers tonight, because I'm pretty sure that they were blessed by your ideas, by your thoughts, by your wisdom, by your life. So thank you. Dr. Rich, what do you say?
Yes.
I mean, this is fun,
Well, we
right?
bring Yes, well, we bring ourselves back to the adage, sound mind in a
Mm-hmm.
sound body. That's really what it is. Sometimes you hear these doctors, saying that about doctors. They say an apple a day keeps the doctors away. You really don't want to do that, right? Try to eat an apple a day. You will be closer to your doctor because it's not just the way it rhymes so well. It rhymes well and it's good to hear, but it's not it. So you want to be thinking, you want to be guarding yourself so that you'll be in the best of health and the results will show.
Yes, absolutely. Again, to all our viewers tonight, thank you very much. Dr. Rich, thank you so much for every week that you share your expertise and your ideas and your just your wisdom to all our viewers. I'm blessed to have you as I am your co-host. It's like when you put there, I'm not the main host. We're
What?
co-hosting this show. We're co-hosting this show. So I'm so blessed. I'm so glad that we are able to actually have this show to help our viewers, to educate them, to inspire them, to empower them, and to just be there for them, to give them these practical tips and ideas on how they can live a better and healthier life. That's what we do here at Beyond Health and Wellness, empowering conversations with Dr. Rich and Nurse MJ. And we're so grateful to our special guest tonight, Jennifer. Thank you so much. God bless you more, and we look forward to meeting you more in the future. Maybe we can collaborate with, with our, we've been wanting to do this with an okay, we'll do it. But anyway, thank you so much to all our viewers from the Philippines, Texas, and all over. Thank you for watching us, and please continue to support Beyond Health and Wellness by Lawin Media Network. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night. MJ, you're amazing. Thank you, Jen. Thank you for being with us tonight. Good night, everyone.